All right, let's journey back, way back, like 2,500 years to ancient Greece. We're going to dig into a really stunningly simple idea. What if everything, and I mean everything you see, from the stars in the sky to the ground beneath your feet, was all made from one single invisible substance? Well, that was the big idea from a philosopher named Anaximenes. So just think about this for a second. What if the grand secret of the universe wasn't hiding out in some distant nebula, but was something you experience every single moment of your life? What if the answer to, well, everything, was right there, in the air you breathe? For Anaximenes, this is exactly where the hunt began.
Now, to really get where Anaximenes was coming from, we have to start with a question that basically launched Western science as we know it. What is everything actually made of? This question became an obsession for a groundbreaking group of thinkers we now call the Milesian School.
Picture this. You're in the busy port city of Miletus, and these three philosophers, they were doing something totally new. They were trying to explain the world using reason and what they could observe, not with stories about gods and myths. They were hunting for the arche, a single, fundamental stuff that could explain all of reality.
This really sets the stage for the puzzle Anaximenes was trying to solve. His teacher's teacher, Thales, said everything was made of water. Okay, great start. You can touch it, you can see it, but how does water become a rock or fire? Then came Anaximander. He proposed something called the apeiron, an infinite, boundless, undefined substance. A really cool, powerful idea, but you can't see it or touch it. It's totally abstract. Anaximenes saw these two ideas, one too concrete, the other too abstract, and he came up with a brilliant middle ground: air.
So for Anaximenes, air was the perfect arche. Think about it. It was real and tangible, like water, but it was also boundless and seemingly infinite, like the apeiron. You can feel it, right? But you can't see its edges. And this is the most important part. It was always moving. That made it the perfect source for a dynamic, living universe.
But here is where Anaximenes made his real leap of genius. See, he didn't just point at the sky and say it's air. No, he explained how air could actually become everything else. He basically gave the cosmos an engine.
And this mechanism, this was the game changer. He proposed two simple opposing processes: condensation, which is just packing air tighter together, and rarefaction, which is spreading it apart. This was a massive shift in thinking. He wasn't just picking a substance, he was describing a physical process of change.
And check out how elegantly this works. You start with air, that's your baseline. If you thin it out, rarefy it, it gets hot and becomes fire. But if you start to squeeze it together to condense it, it first becomes wind, then clouds, then it gets even thicker and becomes water. And finally, at its absolute densest, it becomes earth and even stone. It's this incredible continuous spectrum of everything, all born from one single process. And get this, he even connected this whole process to something anyone can feel: temperature. He pointed out that when you rarefy air, like when you open your mouth wide and breathe out, "ha," the air is warm. But when you condense it, like pursing your lips to blow cool air, it feels cold. I mean, that's one of the first ever links between density and temperature, a truly mind-blowing intuition for his time.
So now, with this powerful engine of condensation and rarefaction, Anaximenes was ready to explain the entire natural world. He created this incredible model of a universe that literally breathes.
And just think about the sheer explanatory power he had with this. The Earth? Oh, that's just a flat disk of condensed air floating like a leaf on the air below it. The stars? Easy. They're just pockets of super rarefied air that have caught on fire. Weather, like rain and snow? That's just air condensing and getting colder. Even lightning had a natural cause. It was just wind violently bursting through clouds. All of a sudden, you didn't need gods to explain the world. You had physics.
And this is where his science becomes pure poetry. Anaximenes drew this powerful line connecting a single person to the entire cosmos. Just as our own soul, which he believed was air, our breath, holds our bodies together and animates us, the air of the universe encompasses and animates the entire world. The small reflects the large. The microcosm reflects the macrocosm. It's beautiful.
Okay, so why are we talking about a 2,500-year-old idea about air? Why does this still matter? Well, because Anaximenes wasn't just taking a wild guess, he was forging a completely new way of thinking about the world.
I mean, his impact was huge, and it spread across so many fields. In physics, he gave us the very first model of change based on density, a concept that, still echoes in how we understand states of matter today. In astronomy, he insisted on mechanical, not mythical explanations.
And in philosophy, his idea of a cosmic breath, or pneuma, would go on to directly influence major schools of thought like the Stoics centuries down the line. He built this picture of a dynamic, self-regulating cosmos.
Simply put, Anaximenes looked at a world that seemed to be full of static, separate things, and he breathed life into it, making continuous, predictable change the very engine of reality. So, I'll just leave you with this final thought. Anaximenes looked at the air, something invisible, common, and totally overlooked, and he saw in it the key to everything. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What seemingly simple, unseen force that's all around us right now might just hold the answers to the biggest questions of our own time.